Welcome back to Briggs on Books, a truly international talk show with, we talk to authors, editors, publishers. There's a lot of people in between that just help people get their books out there. And once you get them out there, there's people who help you get them noticed. So we're going to have all those people on our show over the next few months. So keep watching. If you're an author, you're an aspiring author, or an expert that could help authors, we want to talk to you. Like I said, we've been talking to people internationally. But this next guest is kind of like across the street from us, I think. And can we say the city?
Go for it.
Clovis, California, my hometown, my high school, Clovis High. By the way, Leslie Lee, you lived right by Clovis High. That was only high school in Clovis when I went. There weren't all these other Clovis West and stuff like that.
Yep.
So kind of aging myself a little. But let me say this right up front. I'm going to put the cover of your most recent book up. I want to say congratulations because anybody can write a book, but few people can finish writing and actually get it published and out there, and you did that.
Thank you.
And by the way, you did it 3 times, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, I've actually done 6, but these are my 3 novels.
3 novels, okay. And is there the 3 novels? I'm going to put them up one at a time just as we're talking. Tell us the name of the most recent one.
The most recent one is my fantasy, and it is called Child of Dawn.
Okay. And Child of Dawn, right, I got it. And then the one before that, I think I have the cover also. I'm asking you to say the names because I can't see the screen that far.
That's okay.
The Rock in the Wind.
I think Rock in the Wind, yep.
Yeah. And then the I don't want to say the oldest one, but yeah, I guess it's the oldest of the ones we're talking about today, Demons.
Demons in the Hogshed, yep.
Are they the same genre?
No, actually. I am kind of like within my circle of friends known for doing historical fiction.
Okay.
And that is what The Rock in the Wind is. The Rock in the Wind is a historical fiction romance. Demons in the Hogshed was a challenge, the result of a challenge issued by one of my friends to write something that wasn't set in the old days.
Okay.
And so Demons in the Hogshed is set mostly in modern-day New York City.
Nice.
And then Child of Dawn was my own personal challenge to myself to write a fantasy.
Okay.
And that would be Child of Dawn. Yeah.
Child of Dawn. And that just came, when did that one come out?
October, like beginning of October.
Okay, just about a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And let me ask you about the historical fiction book, because that's where my interest lies in history. What period is that set in?
Late 1800s. In upstate Maine.
Okay, is that Demons?
No, that's Rock in the Wind.
Oh, I got them confused. Here's the one.
Okay, that's okay.
So many books. And you say there's more than these 3, by the way.
Yeah, I also wrote a children's book that focuses primarily on the magic of adoption. I'm adopted, and then I have a niece and a nephew that are also adopted. And so that's called Let the Magic Grow. And then I did a book of poetry and a nonfiction about my life growing up in the Christian church and being like a millennial Christian.
Nice. Very good. I want to read that one. I want to read them all. I'm going to read all your books. Who are they for? The 3 really we're talking about today, who are they written for?
I try to make them. I mean, I have an 11-year-old daughter, and she's read all my stuff.
Okay.
I gear them towards adults, obviously, but they're clean and they're appropriate for like I said, my daughter's 11, so 11-year-olds, preteens, teenagers. I obviously do like to put romance in my books. Mm-hmm. But I keep it, PG, maybe PG-13 rated, because I don't want my kid to pick it up, and read something that they shouldn't. Yeah. So, all ages. If you like to read and you can carry a good story, then you can read what I've written.
So pretty much everybody. It's written for everybody, yeah.
I mean, my son is 9, and he's tried to, read a chapter or 2, but he gets bored.
Yeah,
so.
good.
And he's 9.
And he's 9 years old. Let's get all the way back to the most recent book, which I'm just putting on the screen right now. And it came out about a month ago. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so like I said, it's a fantasy, more specifically like adventure romance fantasy, and it is set mostly in a magical world called the Vale, and the Vale is a realm that is ruled half in part by vampires and half in part by elves.
Okay.
And these two species have been warring with each other over, they don't even remember why, for over 1,000 years. And because of this war, their world is dying. And there's a prophecy that basically says that if two unlikely individuals can kind of come together and fulfill the prophecy, then the world will be saved, the Vale will be saved. But if not, then there's impending doom.
Nice.
And that's where the two protagonists of the story come in. There is Dagsbrun, who is the byproduct of a love affair between an elf and a vampire, and he has ended up in the human world for safety. He's been driven out by his own people because he's essentially not pure. He's not a purebred. And so he's grown up in the human world and has a massive chip on his shoulder because of that, being kind of an outcast. And then there's Anda, who is half human and half elf. Her mother was an elf who ended up in the human world and married a human man. And Anda possesses her mother's magical capabilities. And because of that, her village drives her out, labels her a witch, and drives her out, and that results in the two of them meeting and kind of developing a friendship and ultimately embarking on an adventure that will ultimately save the Vale and save each other.
I know we ran through the genres of all your books, but now I've heard about this. What do you call it, fantasy?
I mean, yeah, it's a fantasy. It's got a lot of like magic elements in it. I'm a really big fan of J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and so I've put a lot of magic and creating. Obviously Tolkien and Lewis created like wonderful magical worlds, and I've done my best to kind of do that with the Vale and putting magical creatures and symbols and stuff in it. It was definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
To say the least.
It sounds like a lot of work. More work than just writing a story of with regular people.
Right? Yeah.
By the way, I put your web address on the screen. Leslie, tell me what it is, your web address. I just can't see that far.
Oh, yeah. It's www.leslieannlee, so my whole name.com.
LeslieAnnLee.com. It's right on the screen. Also, we put your Instagram. But if somebody visits your website, what will they find there?
They'll find links to Demons in the Hogshed you can buy through my website. You can buy The Rock and the Wind through my website, and I'm currently working on getting the link up and ready to do Child of Dawn. But you can also buy it on Amazon. There's also a lot of additional like essays and blog posts and poetry as well on the website if you don't like reading like a full-fledged book.
No, I love when I'm reading a book, I like to go to an author's website and see what they have there. It's always something fascinating, something extra.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like to know more about the authors. You're fascinating. We're going way over time because you're so fascinating. But what last thoughts do you have for our viewers?
I would just encourage you all to read. I think it's kind of become, like, in some senses, a lost art. Yeah. It's real easy to go watch a movie or watch something on YouTube, but there's something pretty magical about picking up a book and using your own mind and your own imagination. So go buy a book.
Yep. By the way, the only thing more fun than reading for me is reading with other people. So when you go to Leslie's website or go to Amazon, don't buy one copy of the book, buy 5 copies of the book and give them to a couple of friends and you all read together.
Yes. It's almost Christmas. They make great Christmas
Christmas gifts. You know how many houses I have to go to over Christmas? I always try to take a little host gift. Take books. They're so easy to get and to give. I don't even wrap them. I just say, hey, I'm reading this. Let's read it together. It's a fun holiday tradition. So,
yes.
Well, thank you, Leslie. I'm inspired by all your books. The variety that you've done is just amazing.
Thank you so
You must
much.
have an amazing mind to keep track of everything. I know I'm out of time. They're signaling me, but what's up next? Another book?
Yeah, I'm actually in the pre-writing phase for another. Oh, I think I'm gonna do like a historical fiction / fantasy. It's gonna have something to do with pirates.
Pirates. Oh, nice.
And this is the first time I'm saying that, so you've got the first scoop.
It's a scoop. Leslie A. Lee is the author. Leslie Ann Lee.
There you go.
LeslieAnnLee.com. Easy to find. I looked at it right before we came on the air. And we'll be back with more authors right after this, so don't go anywhere.